It is a great joy and honor to come into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. This is Emmanuel Mensah, a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. At the Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of thought, universal laws and principles, and how these laws and our thinking comes together to create our realities. All human beings are creating their realities by the use of our minds. You have a mind, and as you think, so shall your life will also be. This is a universal truth or universal law that no one can ever dance around it or avoid. And so it is about time that you get used to, or you accept the truth, discover it, and use it to organize your life. Your mind is a creative medium, and you use your mind to create your life circumstances. Okay, that is not what we are looking at today, or in these weeks and past days. We are looking at how to bring improvement in the life of people in our various countries, towns, and cities. And so we are speaking under the topic, the quest for uniform and sustainable development in Africa, Ghana as a case study. And as I've always been saying, I use Ghana because I'm a Ghanaian and I was born and raised in Ghana before I traveled outside Ghana. And so the Ghana situation is something that I know by birth and experience, and also through education. And so I can speak to it without any ambiguity or less ambiguities. Okay. So whatever I'm saying is applicable to all African countries. And so we are looking at local governance. And the past 2 days, I've spoke about local governance, and I look at how we need to structure the local governance in the various countries, especially if you take Ghana, for instance. Everyone's eyes is on the central government, but the central government can only prosper and function, provide everything to the people only through the local administrations or local governance, you see. And so we need to look at that. Yesterday I spoke about the structure and how we need to look at all these things and compare them with tried and tested systems elsewhere. Today I'm going to remain on the same topic, but I'm going to highlight two things or two key positions in the Ghanaian local government structure, you see, and then we'll compare it to other parts. I normally use London because United Kingdom is a country that Ghana came out of, and most of our systems were created based on their systems, and it is easy for us to actually do the comparison. And also Ghana and UK, we are unitary states, and so the local structure or local administration structure are more the same than if you take like US or Canada, which is a federal state, or which are federal states, you see. And so if you look at the local governance that we have in Ghana, at the head of every local authority, the political administration is the district chief executives in all districts. And then we have municipalities, and the head of the municipality, or the one who provides political leadership in the municipalities, is what we call municipal chief executive. These two key positions are political appointments. So it is the president that appoints them. So when a particular party wins the elections, the leader who forms the government sits down and appoints all the district chief executives, all the municipal chief executives to their positions. So everything is centralized. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the biggest flaws in Ghana and African countries' local governance. One, we have to accept that the chief executive, or either the district chief executive or the municipal chief executive, is the leader of the municipality or the district. And as a matter of fact, he's supposed to be accountable and responsible to the people. but not the president. And so when this person is appointed, it means it is only the president who can actually fire him or take him out of position. And so whether he is performing or not, once he is dancing to the tune or he's satisfying the president's office with what they want from him, he cannot be fired. You see, so the people are powerless. But at the end of the day, whatever he's doing affects the people. And also, parties come to power and go. And so the system we have now in Ghana is that when party A comes into power, the president appoints all the chief executives and municipal chief executives. Even if they stay in power for only one term, as soon as they lose power, all these people too are gone. And therefore, whatever projects, whatever initiative that they've started, those things are gone. You see, and so Ghanaians normally turn around and ask why there is no continuity in projects. They said this government started this, when the other government came, he left it and he's doing his own thing. You see, that is the cause. The cause of all this is what I'm telling you. Local administration are not supposed to be controlled by central governments, but they're supposed to be elected people within the local areas. And the people that's being governed decide as to whether the work they are doing is satisfactory or not, and then vote them out. And so if you take a city like Accra, and you compare what we have in Accra, like the municipal chief executive's role, and then you compare it to London, you will see that there are two different things happening in these two cities. In Accra, the mayor, who is more or less the municipal chief executive, responsible for the greater Accra or Accra metropolitan area, is a government appointee. But in London, the mayor of London is an elected person. A special election is conducted, and he and other people contest. The one who wins becomes the mayor. So every 4 years, he goes for the renewal of his mandate. And so if you take the London system, and actually the current London mayor has been in power, this is his third term. And during this period, he's worked under both Conservative and Labour governments. So whether the party he's affiliated to is in power or not, his work continues because he gets his mandate from the local people. So all the people within the London boroughs, the 32 London boroughs, they vote him into power, but not being appointed by the president. And so whatever initiative that he's doing continues, whether his party loses or not. But in Ghana, what we have is that as soon as the party A comes and their projects, they roll out their projects, the next election, if party B, the party A loses and party B comes, they also come to begin their own thing. There is no continuity. But as a matter of fact, national elections must not affect the activities of the local governance or local governments. And so this is how it is. This is the kind of situation that we are creating. And as a matter of fact, in London or in the United Kingdom, the mayor of a larger city than London is elected. And under him are the 32 boroughs, which also each borough has its own council. And these councils are filled by elected members. So the mayor of every borough is elected by his peers. When they go to the assembly, then the assembly members elect one of their members to be their leader. So he becomes the mayor. That is how it is. Smaller towns or counties, if you take the other counties, they also follow the same procedure. So every county is made up of every county assembly is made up of elected members from the various towns and communities. So when they convene, then they elect one of their members as the mayor. So he becomes the county mayor. So when you go down to the town, it is the same system. These are elected people that are not being appointed by any government in Westminster. And so you will see that there is continuity. Whether this party is the one winning or losing, the local administration goes on without being disrupted by what is happening at the national level. But in Ghana, that is totally different. And so the system we have is, as a matter of fact, something that is self-defeating, because political parties at the national head comes and go. But local issues must not follow that order. Those leaders may have their political affiliations, but the fact is that they must be voted by the people which they are going to lead. And so the role of the district chief executive and a municipal chief executive in the local administration is not necessary. It's not needed. Apart from the mayors of the various big cities, all mayors, like what we have now, the district chief executive, should have been an elected member from the district assembly, and he is being elected by his peers to lead. And in that case, all the expenses, all the things that the government make on them, the cars they ride in, all the things that they do, those things are no longer to be there, because these are already elected people, or we can use it on the one who is already representing the people, you see. And so this is the time that you got to understand how some of these things are done. You cannot run a crappy system and go on to look for a successful outcome. Whatever is being done in Africa, Ghana in particular, because I'm using Ghana as a case study, is something that we do not pay cautious attention to some of the loopholes and loopholes of our systems. Whatever it is, the local administration must go on. So when someone sits down and complains that why is it that this government started this project in this area, the other one comes and abandons it, that is the answer. When they come in, when a particular party is voted in, the district chief executive position, the municipal chief executive positions are positions that they use to satisfy, to compensate those who worked for them to be voted into power. So those positions are not there to serve the people, but to actually, satisfy the needs and the interests of the political parties. That is exactly what is happening, but that is not what it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be people people that have been elected by the local people, and therefore they are accountable to the local people. They are responsible to the local people, and the local people are given the chance to renew their mandate every 4 years. The mayor of London, every 4 years they go for election. They re-elect him. If you go to Manchester and other big cities in the UK, that is what is done. All mayors all over the country, they renew their mandate through elections, but not politically appointed. You see, so this is some of the things that we cannot just sit down and look on, and then we begin to wail and then begin to blame other people that we are not progressing. Believe it or not, the success of every country, especially when it comes to the provision of amenities, basic necessities, basic things that people need to have, like housing, water, and some of these basic services are provided by the local authorities. And in England in particular, the funding of local authorities is basically from what we call council tax and business rate. They are forms of tax. And then other taxes that they run. Then the central government gives them grants. In that case, they are able to raise revenue and roll out their projects. It is how it's supposed to be done in Ghana. But here is the case that there is not even a proper tax system in Ghana. And therefore, the chief executive comes in, then they depend on the central government for money. They get the money, they are able to do only 1 or 2 projects. And that is it. The district assembly is just a collection of people who goes and meet and talk about unnecessary things and come home. The assemblyman has no power to initiate any project. So what we see is that our system, nothing happens. And that is why we have disorganized towns, disorganized cities, lack of basic things that are supposed to be at the disposal of the ordinary people. These are the cause of it. So there is the need for us to begin to march what we have with other areas. And I'm using London in particular. Ghana and London system fit in very perfectly because we are actually former British colonies. And therefore, whatever we are practicing, we inherited it from the British. And if they are doing it in such a way that they are getting better results, it is reasonable and understandable for us to emulate them. And as a matter of fact, governance is a formula. It's a formula. Whoever gets the right formula will get the right answer. And so if you have the right formula, you'll get the right answer. That is a fact. You cannot leave all this kind of position as political appointees and expect them to do well. They don't have any responsibility to the people. They actually go there and actually load themselves upon the people because they are not being elected. They don't have to appeal to the people for any vote. The very people that are being voted for are being subject to the authority of an unelected person. This is unheard of, you see. And so as I was saying, if you go to London, every borough of London has its own council. And then they have their own mayor. That mayor is an elected person who has been chosen by his peers to lead them. If you go to the counties, it's the same thing. And that is the system that we need. There are a lot of things that we can do to bring improvement in the life and the condition of the ordinary people. All the things that the central government is doing at the top. It is just like the icing and the cake situation that I used. It's a dressing, but it does not actually come to improve the lives of the people. For there to be a housing scheme such that people in every corner of the country can be helped to put up decent and affordable accommodation, there must be proper local administration running. And all these things must be handled in a proper way. You see, and so the role of the district chief executive, as a matter of fact, is a redundant role that has to be scrapped. And if I'm the president or if I'm in the leadership of Ghana today, that is one of the reforms that I will make. We have to look at things for the betterment of the people, but not for the betterment of only a cross-section of the people. That is a fact. The leader of every district must be accountable to the people. And therefore, it is understandable, it is reasonable, it makes sense that the people that have been elected by their various localities, they come together to elect their leader. In that case, he's being held accountable and responsible through these elected members. But for the president to sit in Accra, to appoint someone to a place that he himself might have not ever visited, has no direct contact with the challenges they are facing, that he should go and lead them is a mistake. It's a mistake that must be corrected, you see. And so there are tried and tested systems elsewhere. And therefore, we need to evolve our systems. The political administration at the local level must be well structured. And it is only when we have success, we have improvement at the local level, then that the collection of all of this becomes the aggregate success of Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, whatever country you say. And so whatever we are talking about here is to empower you, the ordinary person. You vote for these things all the time. You hear this, you listen to news about this. Sometimes even the appointment of the district chief executive, the appointment of the municipal chief executive becomes a kind of a complete issue that people have to agitate, people have to demonstrate. That is not how it's supposed to be. All these things can be put to bed. All this confusion can be put to bed when we put these things, these positions through electoral processes, so that the person will campaign and he's voted for. After 4 years, if he's not doing well, the people have the right to take him out and bring in a new person. That is how we say we are practicing modern democracy, or we are practicing democracy. And we have a proper system of running local administration, you say. And so that is how it's supposed to be. We are having a lot of redundancy in our system. If you look at it from this, the president appoints all the municipal chief executives all over the country, and then appoints all the district chief executives all over the country. If you go to the police service, it's the same thing. One person at the head of the police service, and he controls everything. If you go to education, if you go to everything, and therefore we've created a system that it is only there in name, but there is no proper result. There is no result. You see, so if you look at things through the right window, you get the right view, or you get the right picture. So now let us recalibrate our lenses and begin to look at our system. It is better to challenge, it is better to question the progress or the results you are getting from your system and seek improvement than to accuse someone. It is better to look at your own work and ask yourself questions, to seek for improvement, than to sit down to accuse other people that they are not doing, they are sabotaging your progress. Africa, so long as Africa is concerned, the living condition of the people will not be improved to the standard of our current human evolution unless we take the necessary steps to create systems and schemes to help the ordinary people all over the country such that we'll be able to bring ourselves to a level that we can say is a developed nation. And this has to be done through the local authorities. And so that is my message for you. It's just a piece of advice, a piece of information. And as I've always been saying, if you want to verify whatever I'm saying, even if you Google the local governance in the UK, you get all this information. If you want, check the mayor of London, how it is done. You get it. Manchester, Liverpool. You can check all these informations are everywhere. And if you know how some people are doing it to get the best results, you will ask your leaders as to why you don't have those structures. And when you begin to demand it from them, it will get to a point that they have no choice than to make sure that those structures are created. But you cannot make a demand that you are ignorant about. And that is the reason why this education is being given. Those who want to learn, those who want to know and take effective part in the administration and the governance of their countries, this is your chance. And this is just whet your appetite. Dive into the study of all these things so that you not just be a naive person going through all these things. You say you play a part. Your role is very effective, or the role that you play is very important. You are part of the whole system, and therefore value the role that you play. You see, it is only when all of us we understand what we are doing and we play our part, then that we can hold those in power in check, such that they will do what we are asking them for, but not we begging them. You are not supposed to beg any leader, but you are supposed to command them because they are your servant, they are your employees. The president is an employee because he's only serving the nation. The nation can decide to kick him out through elections. You see? And so that is my message for you. Let us rise up, let us wake up and be enlightened with this message. Now continue to learn, continue to educate yourself, such that wherever you stand, wherever you find yourself, you'll be able to speak with authority and intelligence as a person that knows what he's doing. That is a fact. And that is my message for you. Now, before I sign off, I just want to make an appeal to you that if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please click on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel such that you receive updates whenever we make our uploads, and also circulate the message in your network. If you are in Canada, in the Greater Toronto area, and you want to be involved in this physically, you can leave a comment in the comment sections, and then we will connect with you and pick it from there. But the most important thing is that together we stand, and we can only stand and be formidable only when we are knowledgeable, only when we know what we want and we go for it. A word to a wise is enough. Thank you, and God bless you.